The changing of the seasons is recorded in the foliage of beeches, creating magical pictures full of color, mostly in the fall. The green foliage gradually yellows until it turns an intense orange-red. No artistic representation can convey what nature creates in Rhodope.
Η οξιά, η μητέρα των δασών, σχηματίζει εκτεταμένα δάση στην κεντρική Ευρώπη, αλλά στην νότια Ευρώπη, λόγω των απαιτήσεων του είδους σε υγρασία, εμφανίζεται με τη μορφή νησίδων. Είναι ένα από τα πιο ανταγωνιστικά είδη. Χαρακτηριστικό των συστάνων της είναι ότι το πυκνό φύλλωμά της δεν επιτρέπει τη διέλευση του φωτός και την επιβίωση άλλων ειδών. Γι' αυτό το λόγο ο υπόρροφός της είναι σχετικά φτωχός σε είδη.
Beech forests develop under different ecological conditions and on different soils. They can be found on both limestone and silicate rock. An ecosystem of particular importance is the forest at Tsikla, with its old-growth beeches, in the area that is better known as the Haidu Forest. The area has been declared a monument of nature, as has the Partheno Forest. These dense forests are home to all the large ungulates. Wild boar and roe deer are common throughout the region, while the red deer is scarce. Chamois live mainly in the steep crags of Frakto and Kula. The region is, together with the Pindos Mountains, one of the two centers of brown bear distribution in Greece. In early summer, a loud whistling, like the sound of a flute, punctuates a melodious warbling in the dense foliage of a walnut. A movement among the branches, rustling leaves, and chirping chicks suddenly reveal the existence of a nest. Another rarely seen species, with a scattered localized presence in a few spots in oak woods, is the Balkan peony, one of 9 species that exist in the forests of the Greek mountains. In spring, small clearings among the oaks are lit up by bright, blood-red flowers, with countless golden stamens laden with pollen, sending the beetles who pollinate them into a frenzy. In early summer, even as the day dawns, among the sounds of the forest, the ceaseless rhythmic rattle of woodpeckers dominates, as they search for food for their young waiting in their nests. The woodpeckers are the contractors of the forest, and provide homes to many birds that nest in cavities, but cannot hollow them out themselves. Orchids are an important family of plants of special phytogeographical and ecological interest. Approximately 1/3 of the species found in Greece grow in the meadows, thickets, forests, and bogs of the park and the surrounding area. Among these, there are many species that have turned fakery into a science. Orchids of the genus Ophrys deceive bees and wasps into pollinating them, since their flowers mimic the shape, color, and even the feel of female insects, and they produce correspondingly specific scents. The males are fooled into alighting on the flowers, and when they realize their mistake and depart, they take pollen with them and transfer it to the next flower. Orchids of wet meadows have special value because of their limited geographic distribution. But the habitats in which they occur are considered to be among the rarest and most vulnerable in Rhodope, no less than in Greece or even Europe.
Η ορχιδέα, επιπάκτης παλούστρης, το μοναδικό είδος του γένους επιπάκτης το οποίο αναπτύσσεται σε υγρά λιβάδια και τυρφώνες, είναι ένα σημαντικό χλωριδικό στοιχείο του κεντρικού τυρφώνα της ελαττιάς, το οποίο μάλιστα αναπτύσσεται σε ικανοποιητικούς πληθυσμούς.
Some of these plants have stimulated the imagination of people around the world and have given rise to superstitions and legends.
Μεταξύ των άλλων τύπων οικοτόπων που απαντώνται στη Ροδόπη, ιδιαίτερα σημαντικοί είναι οι τυρφώνες.
In these protected habitats, the plants do not grow in soil, but on the organic matter of previous years, which has formed peat. One such species, one of the rarest in Greece, is a carnivorous plant. This is the sundew, which is found in very few places in the peat bogs of the park. The sundew is a truly tiny plant, with a height of only a few centimeters, and is extremely difficult to detect in the dense mesh of grass and sphagnum. Its name refers to the shiny drops of sticky secretions that adorn its leaves. Insects, attracted by the bright, sweet red drops, become stuck and die from exhaustion trying to escape. Then the plant, by means of specific enzymes, breaks down their tissues and fulfills its need for nutrients. One of the dominant features of the region, one of great ecological importance, is its abundance of permanently flowing streams. Diverse communities of hydrophilic plants have developed around them. Rivers filled with fish rush noisily down to meet the Nestos. The element of water is everywhere in Rhodope. Springs gush with crystal waters, streams flow in torrents, and along their deeply shaded banks, colorful birds sing magical songs. In one of these streams, the yellow wagtail is searching for food, ceaselessly bobbing its tail up and down. In high areas, near streams and on level depressions where the runoff from surrounding slopes collects, wet meadows are created. A particular family of organisms finds suitable conditions here, enriching the biodiversity of the park. At least 13 species of amphibians, most of which are protected, have been recorded in Rhodope Mountains National Park. The Bear's Gorge, the Cauldron Gorge, the Dark Gorge, and many other smaller watercourses form waterfalls of various sizes. Waterfalls that at first glance become landscapes locked in memory. The reputation of the largest and most impressive of all, known by the double name Trachoni or Livaditis waterfall has traveled beyond local borders. The strong presence of water is valuable for the local fauna. The European otter dives and frolics in the currents of the Nestos, taking its breakfast of fish with great pleasure. The otter plays an important role in the biodiversity of aquatic ecosystems and is the top predator in the European freshwater food chain. Water is an important factor for the presence of people in the area. The existence of water mills is witness to the human attempt to harness water power from pre-industrial times. Above the course of the Nestos River rises the impressive massif of Falakro. The highest mountain in eastern Macedonia and Thrace, situated historically in the country of Thrace, it inspires the same awe in the current residents of Drama as it did in the ancient Thracian tribes. The limestone geology of its bedrock, along with climatic and topographic conditions, creates a significant variety of habitats. In early spring, as the snow melts, mountain meadows at the boundary of the park are overrun by an onslaught of colorful flowers that create spectacular landscapes that rival those of autumn in beauty. When the green of the foliage turns to golden yellow and then to fiery red on the wooded northern slopes of the mountain. Many of the plants of the mountain traveled here from the frozen north, searching for a refuge during glacial epochs and remaining after the ice left. The white dryas is one of them. Millennia ago, it dominated the alpine heights of Europe, but today's populations are fragmented, and in Greece it is found only on limestone rocks on 3 mountains. The early summer visitor will be enchanted with an unimaginable variety of herbaceous vegetation. Orchids, violets, wild pinks, spring gentians, and knapweeds are just some of the innumerable flowers to be seen in the meadows of Falakro. And later, in midsummer, aromatic herbs will be diffusing their fragrances over the whole mountain. As clouds wander over the rocks of the peaks, some lucky few may encounter the wall creeper. It flies by the steep slopes or vertical cliffs of Hionotripa, opening and closing its wings like a big, colorful butterfly. In the meadows of the summits, known as subalpine meadows, life has its own rhythms. A green carpet of grass with patches of colorful herbaceous plants covers the slopes. Butterflies in surprising colors fly among them. To attract their pollinators, most plants provide them with visual cues, such as bright colors and suitable petal shape, and reward them with food. The last ornaments of summer gradually fill out the annual cycle of flowering before the triumphant crescendo and grand finale of autumn colors. All creatures are on the alert, both up high and down low. The bee-eaters and other winged summer guests are preparing to begin the return trip as the autumn crocuses and other fall bulbs begin to emerge from the ground. The autumn wind alternates with bursts of rain, clouds, and fog. Winter is coming. Rhodope reveals its uniqueness to the visitor gradually. In every region of the park, the senses perceive something special. Nature has set up one of its most special and powerful combinations here.